MLB.com's Anthony Castrovince is taking a break from watching Love is Blind on Netflix to join us here on MLB Central. Anthony, are there enough people that are there on the show for the right reasons?
Not enough, actually. That's kind of the problem with Love is Blind. We need to figure out if love can overcome physical lack of attraction, and unfortunately, that's not the case.
Yeah, it definitely cannot. Hey, let's start with Mike Trout. He was hit on the left hand with a pitch on Sunday. The x-rays are negative. That's definitely a good thing, but give us the freak-out factor on Trout hit by pitch.
Yeah, x-ray's negative, but I'm still freaking out. I'm still putting this a 9 out of 10. That's how many games Mike Trout has played this year, 9. I'm just freaking out because anything that keeps Mike Trout off the field, forget what it means to the Angels. What does it mean to us as baseball fans and witnessing history? This is a historically significant player. You know, we're going to have jersey advertisements, helmet decals in the not-too-distant future. Mike Trout should have, like, one of those historical markers on him at all times to remind pitchers of what they're dealing with. Let's be careful with this guy. He means a lot to the game of baseball. He's only played 89 games in 2020 and 2021 because of the pandemic and because of injury. We need Mike Trout on the field. So while this appears to have avoided serious injury here, still freaking out a little bit anytime Mike Trout gets hit in the hand.
Cleveland Guardian Stephen Kwan, the sensation of the young season. He reached base 18 times in the first 5 games, but now he's in an 0 for 12. What's the freakout factor?
Yeah, I'll just put that at a 3 out of 10. That's how many times he's swung and missed this year, and 2 of those 3 were foul tips into the catcher's glove for a strikeout. So, the kid was amazing to watch in the first few games. First 4 games, it's kind of live by the BABIP, die by the BABIP. First 4 games, 692 batting average on balls in play. Next 4 games, 0.83 batting average on balls in play. So, you take what you can get. A young kid thrown in the number 2 spot of the lineup. Really, this Guardians lineup is probably too reliant on a kid and it's having this magical, historic first week. I do think Stephen Kwan will be a good player who can make a lot of contact and dink and dunk and get his hits. But, this is the way the ebbs and flows of the game work, unfortunately. So better to get this slump out of the way now. He probably set too high of a standard for himself in that Guardians lineup in the first few days.
All right, we know that the season is still very, very young. It just started, but the Braves are off to a little bit of an uneven start to the defense of their World Series title. Should Brave fans be concerned about their favorite ball club?
Yeah, I wouldn't freak out here. I just put that at a 1 out of 10. 1 is the number of days you can wear that gaudy World Series ring they unveiled without getting some kind of flexor tendon injury in your finger. The weight of the World Series is large, especially when you're wearing that ring. But I wouldn't freak out just yet. You saw Freddie Freeman, of course, had the dramatic home run against his old mates last night. But Matt Olson has been a very good replacement for him with a 420 average and 1.235 OPS. I think they're going to be just fine at first base and offensively. Ronald Acuna Jr. will begin a rehab assignment today and could be back by the end of the first week of May. So I'm not really worried about the offense. It's the rotation that's kind of holding them back. 27th in starters ERA. That's been a bit surprising. Max Fried and Charlie Morton both have ERAs around 6. But that's somewhat natural after a long season and a shortened spring. So I'm willing to kind of ignore that, even with the Mets playing very good baseball here in the early going. I think Braves fans should know not to freak out, given that this ball club was under 500 in the early days of August last year, and it still turned out pretty well. I still think it'll turn out pretty well here.
Yeah, that's a very good point. By the way, Max Fried gets the call today against the Los Angeles Dodgers. He'll be opposed by Walker Buehler. Robbie Ray makes his 3rd start of the season tonight against the Texas Rangers. AL Cy Young winner is off to a bit of a rough start in his own right. Should Mariner fans be freaking out?
Well, I'm going to put this at 6 out of 10. It's not something and it's not nothing. 6 is the number of balls that have been barreled up against Robbie Ray in 2 starts. You compare that to last season, just 46 barreled balls against Robbie Ray in 32 starts. So, he's been hitting pretty hard. His velocity's down a little bit. He's got a 6.74 expected ERA. That's based on the quality of contact. So, it's only 2 starts, and he's pitched in pretty miserable conditions in each of those starts. So, you don't hold it too much against him, but Mariners have a lot invested in this guy, north of $100 million for a guy who prior to 2020-21 had a bit of a roughshod track record and relies so much on that velocity. So to see that down is a little bit concerning. And just for a team with, serious postseason aspirations and haven't been to the postseason in so long, yeah, you worry a little bit when you see that in those first couple starts. So we'll see how he responds tonight.
That's Anthony Castrovince of MLB.com. Anthony, thank you for the time. We'll talk to you again next week.